A bombshell rumor is shaking the baseball world. Teoscar Hernandez is now being linked to a massive contract extension that could keep him in Los Angeles for years to come. This isn't just about locking in a star bet, it's about securing one of the most dynamic offensive weapons in the game, and sending a clear message to the rest of the league. But with huge money on the table, questions swirl. Is this the right move for the team's future? How will it impact other big signings? And could this deal be the spark that pushes them over the championship line? The stakes are sky high, and the buzz is only getting louder. If you're a Dodgers fan, you might want to sit down for this one, because the latest buzz out of Los Angeles is nothing short of jaw-dropping. Teoscar Hernandez, the powerful slugger who's been a key piece of the Dodgers' offensive puzzle, is now being linked to a massive contract extension that could change the trajectory of this team for years to come. This isn't just a small rumor being whispered in the background, it's a major piece of news that's starting to pick up serious traction across the baseball world, and it has fans and analysts alike asking one big question: is Teoscar about to become one of the highest paid players in Dodgers history? Stick around, because the details on this are both shocking and incredibly exciting, and they tell a story of a player who has quickly become more than just a rental piece for this powerhouse franchise. And before we jump in, make sure you're subscribed and have that notification bell turned on so you never miss breaking Dodgers news like this. Now, let's talk about why this rumor is making so much noise. When the Dodgers brought in Teoscar Hernandez, the expectation was clear: he was going to add immediate power to a lineup already stacked with stars. What wasn't so clear, however, was just how seamlessly he'd fit into the fabric of this team both on and off the field. We all knew Teoscar had power. We all knew he could hit for extra bases. But what we didn't fully anticipate was how his energy, leadership, and clutch hitting would make him not just another bat in the order, but a player this team simply cannot imagine parting ways with. Fast forward to today, and the numbers speak for themselves. Teoscar has been delivering in the most critical moments, showing an uncanny ability to rise to the occasion when the game is on the line. Late-inning doubles, game-tying homers, momentum-shifting at-bats, these are becoming his signature moves in a Dodgers uniform. That type of consistency in high-pressure moments isn't just rare, it's priceless for a team with championship ambitions. And if you think the front office hasn't noticed, think again. In fact, from what's being whispered, they've been keeping an incredibly close eye on his production, his influence in the clubhouse, and his fit with the team's long-term plans. Here's where it gets even more interesting. Multiple insiders are now saying that not only are the Dodgers considering keeping Teoscar beyond this season, but they're preparing to offer him a massive multi-year deal that could be one of the largest of its kind for an outfielder in recent years. And remember, this is the Dodgers. We're talking about a team that has shown time and time again that when they believe a player is worth the investment, they are not afraid to go all in. Just think about Mookie Betts' extension. Think about Freddie Freeman's contract. This organization values stability, star power, and players who can deliver when the stakes are highest, and Teoscar Hernandez has checked all those boxes in a remarkably short amount of time. The potential numbers being floated around are enough to make your jaw drop. While nothing has been confirmed publicly, some sources suggest the figure could range anywhere from $100 million to $130 million over several years, depending on performance incentives and structure. That would not only cement Teoscar's future in Los Angeles but also send a clear message to the rest of the league. The Dodgers are doubling down on their core and locking in players who embody the type of winning mentality they want in their clubhouse. And let's be real, from a fan's perspective, how could you not love this move? Keeping a player who plays with fire, delivers in the clutch, and seems to genuinely enjoy wearing Dodger blue feels like the kind of decision that pays off not just on the field, but in the stands and on TV screens across the country. But what makes this even more of a shocker is the timing. Usually, extensions of this magnitude are discussed during the off-season, when the dust has settled and teams can calmly evaluate their rosters. The fact that this is surfacing now, mid-season, tells you everything you need to know about how high the Dodgers' confidence is in Teoscar. They're not just thinking about the rest of this year, they're thinking about the next 5 to 7 seasons, and they're clearly seeing him as a cornerstone player who can help lead this team into the future alongside Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, and the rest of the Dodgers' star-studded lineup. And speaking of Ohtani, let's not ignore the fact that adding a long-term Teoscar Hernandez deal into the mix would make this Dodgers lineup one of the most dangerous in baseball for years to come. Imagine pitchers trying to navigate through Betts, Freeman, Ohtani, Hernandez, and Will Smith all in a row. That's the kind of nightmare scenario that keeps opposing managers awake at night. With Teoscar's combination of power, speed, and postseason experience, it's no wonder the Dodgers are ready to secure his services before another team even gets the chance to make a competing offer. Of course, this isn't just about numbers and contract years. It's about chemistry. Watch Teoscar in the dugout, and you'll see a player who's constantly hyping up his teammates, cracking jokes, and bringing an energy that is contagious. That kind of presence doesn't show up in the stat sheet, but it can be the difference between a good team and a championship team. And if you think the front office isn't factoring that in, think again. The Dodgers have built a culture where talent and character go hand in hand, and Teoscar fits that mold perfectly. Some skeptics might wonder if a long-term deal for a player in his early 30s is risky. After all, baseball history has its fair share of contracts that looked great on paper but didn't age well. But in Teoscar's case, his recent performance and his physical condition suggest he still has plenty of prime years ahead of him. Plus, his skill set, particularly his power to all fields, tends to age better than that of players who rely solely on speed or contact hitting. And let's not forget, the Dodgers have one of the most advanced player development and conditioning programs in the sport. If any team can get the most out of Teoscar over the course of a long contract, it's this one. The reaction from fans so far has been overwhelmingly positive. Social media has been buzzing with excitement ever since the extension rumors started circulating. You've got fans posting highlight clips, celebrating his big hits, and practically begging the front office to get it done. One comment that's been getting a lot of likes simply said, "Lock him up before another team steals him," and honestly, that sums up the sentiment perfectly. No one wants to see this kind of player walk away, especially when he's meshing so well with the rest of the roster. So, where do things stand right now? While the Dodgers and Teoscar's camp are staying tight-lipped publicly, insiders say that preliminary talks have already taken place and that both sides are open to the idea. That's huge, because in many cases, the biggest hurdle is simply getting the player to commit to long-term negotiations mid-season. The fact that Teoscar is reportedly interested in staying in Los Angeles says a lot about how much he's enjoying his time here and how much he believes in this team's future. So, Dodgers fans, because if these extension talks keep moving forward, we could be looking at one of the biggest and most exciting pieces of news of the entire season. And something tells me, if this deal gets done, it's going to be the kind of move that we'll look back on years from now and say, that's when the Dodgers locked in another championship piece. Stay tuned, because this story is far from over, and in Los Angeles, the fireworks might just be getting started.